Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Tea. I'm your host, the amazing T Street. Yeah, I apologize. I got a little bit of pound cake. I started this before I finished that piece of pound cake. So anyway, I wanted to come on today and do a special topic. Today's topic: don't skip the process of hope after the hype of the holidays. I was a theater kid, and so the part of the play that is the climax is the high point. But if you ever notice in a good movie, a good play, there's always the high point. That's called the climax. And then after that comes the downhill that takes us to the end of the play. That's called the denouement. I hit y'all with the denouement. And so the holidays can kind of be like a play in the sense that we build ourselves up for the hype of it. We go through all the motions, and we're going through all the things that we got to do. We're getting ready for the holidays. We're putting up the tree. We're singing. We're caroling. We're doing all the things. We're baking and we're cooking, and we get the family together, and it's all hype on the day. Even if there's a fight, even if there's arguments, we didn't have any of those. But we just all the hype of the holiday, and then the day, even the night after or the day after the holiday, whatever that holiday is, it's like the denouement of a play, and it takes us down. And so I wanted to talk to you about how to not skip the process of hope after the hype of the holidays. So the first thing I want us to talk about today is that we have to acknowledge the letdown that comes after a holiday, even if we don't want to. We can, it's okay to acknowledge it, and we don't have to like be shameful about the fact that we feel a little let down after the holidays. Many of us are tired, we feel flat, and some of us, quite frankly, are just disappointed, and we wonder, what's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. The holidays are designed to be intense, at least mine are. They're emotionally concentrated, family expectations, building memories. Some of us, like me, going through joy and grief at the same time, spending a lot of money and pressures that come with that, and the pressures of making sure everything is right and that it's good and that it's on time, and performance. All that stuff is packed into a few days, sometimes a few weeks, and sometimes a couple of days. And when that ends, a drop in our emotions is natural, y'all. Hope doesn't start with pretending that everything is fine. It starts with honesty. I got to last night after I got home of a day of festivities that started at 8 o'clock, and I got home last night and I felt a little let down. I was watching, my favorite Christmas movie, It's a Wonderful Life, and I felt like it wasn't a wonderful life. And so you got to start with just honesty. Name the emotions instead of numbing them. Allow yourself to grieve what didn't happen or what did, and now it's over. Release the pressure to be grateful when you're actually just exhausted. Sometimes we get caught up in the expectations of how we're supposed to feel versus dealing with the reality of how we actually feel. I don't have these expectations of myself that I you should be just grateful that you had the experience. I'm grateful, but dang, it's over. And now I got to go back to life. As they say, back to life. Yeah. Hope begins when we stop fighting reality and we start facing it. Good morning, Deaconess Rhonda. And we start facing that reality. The second step: shift from external excitement to internal anchors. For me, that's the difference between joy and happiness. Shifting from external excitement to internal anchors. Holiday hype is fueled by external stimulation events, decorations, schedules, people, noise, shopping, bumping into people. But sustainable hope is built internally. The season invites a quieter question: what anchors me when there's nothing to distract me? Instead of chasing the next rush, y'all, I'm a rush junkie. If I'm real honest, people are like, "Can you get so much done?" It's because I don't use drugs, and so getting things done is my high, y'all. I'm an addict. I'm addicted to hype of getting things done. That's how I fuel what I call life's natural highs. So it's not that I'm not a drug addict. I'm just addicted to the rush of things. So for me, the hype after the holidays means I got to return to the simple routines. I went back this morning to reading my word early and dissecting some things. I wasn't going to do coffee with tea today, but y'all, it's the part of the routine that we get back to, revisiting the practices that ground me: praying, journaling, doing coffee with tea, walking, reading, creating moments of stillness where my soul can catch up with my body. That's important. The goal is not to recreate the holidays. The goal is to rediscover yourself without the noise. Hope matures when it no longer depends on a calendar or a crowd. I'm going to say that one again. Hope matures when it no longer is dependent on a calendar or a crowd. So that's good morning, Dr. Tyson. Good morning, Jackie. Good morning, Lady Overflow. Can I just tell you, that's the piece. That hype after the holidays and having hope after everything, the denouement of life hits after those holidays. That's why I felt compelled today to do this particular coffee with tea. And the third step, reframe the season as preparation and not as punishment. So if yesterday, you were hyped and you got home last night and you were tired and you were like, man, that's over. Now what? That's how sometimes we feel. Post-holiday seasons often feel like a slump. But what if they're actually a setup? Winter doesn't look productive, but it's purposeful. Y'all hate winter, but can I tell you, I get the most work done for the coming year in the winter. Books get written by me, new speeches get written by me. It's the productive time because I don't have a lot of time. I'm not outside. I'm not out in the go. People who know me know I hate winter. I'm not outside unless I have to be. I loved COVID. I loved being in my house every day during the winter, watching the snow from the inside and having my groceries delivered. Yep, I'm that chick, okay? But roots deepen, soil resets, and strength is built underground. Ask yourself different questions. What is this season preparing for me? What habits can I build now that hype once covered up? Sometimes we don't get to the habits because we're so busy managing the hype. What clarity do I gain when life slows down? Hope isn't loud right now, but it's working. The quiet after the celebration is often where growth begins. So I just want to leave you with a couple of thoughts. Don't skip the process of hope after the hype of the holidays. The holidays may be over, but hope is not seasonal. Hope after the holiday looks like honesty instead of pretending. It anchors instead of adrenaline. When you are dealing with your anchors, the things that anchor you versus the adrenaline of the holidays. Preparation instead of despair. I don't feel like I'm in despair, y'all. I feel like I'm preparing for the next season. And sometimes the greatest gift after the holidays is the space to breathe again. Hope isn't gone, it's just learning to speak in a louder voice. I hope this helped you this morning because I know after the holidays, I needed something to get me past the hype of the holidays. I'm the amazing T Street. Y'all already know there's absolutely positively nothing amazing in me that's not in each and every one of you. And by the way, if you're not doing anything and you're in Columbus on New Year's Eve, the City of Grace is hosting a service at 7 p.m. And you might just get to hear your girl. Shh. You might just get to hear your girl on New Year's Eve. I'm the amazing T Street. Y'all have an amazing day. And whatever you do, don't skip the process of hope after the hype of the holidays. Have an amazing day after Christmas, y'all. Be blessed.